Welcome to Crime Files. I'm Anand and we are going to discuss incidents and criminal cases that made headlines in Kerala. Today we go back to 1980, a decade that witnessed a lot of socio-political changes in society. People were seeking a modern lifestyle and were ready to take any step to achieve it. This was the motive that drove a youngster named Rennie George and his three other foreign friends to murder his relatives, Casey George and Rahil George, an aged couple living a retired life in their home in Tiruvalla. This incident later came to be known as the Karikin Villa double murder case, otherwise known to Malayalis as the plot behind the Mohanlal movie Madrasile Mohan. It was October 17, 1980, a beautiful Tuesday morning in Tiruvalla. Tiruvalla police station received a call from a woman named Gauri, a housemate to couples Casey George and Rahil George, claiming that she had found her employees dead inside their home. According to her, she had found them early in the morning when she reported to their house for her duties. The murdered couple were living a retired life in their home in a remote village near Kerala. C.B. Matthews was soon notified about the murders. Two found dead inside her house, a lot of blood in the room, an officer reported. When Gauri arrived at the house, she saw the couples lying in a pool of blood. Both were stabbed and Rahel had a knife in her stomach. There were 4 teacups on a table indicating that someone must have visited the couples earlier that day. Rahel's jewelry, George's Rolex watch, and a tape recorder and some money were found missing. It was evident from the crime scene that the murder took place sometime on the previous day. However, the crime scene did not leave any clues except for some foot marks. The couple, without any children, was living a retired life after spending years in Kuwait. Due to this, it was alleged that several relatives were known to have hid their wealth and property. However, the couples always distanced themselves from their relatives and neighbors. In all, it was a very tricky situation for Kerala police. Interestingly, it was a time when a CPM-backed government came to power in the state following the 1980 assembly election. The newly formed CPM government was surviving with the support of the A.K. Antony group in Congress. E.K. Nayana's ministry came under immense pressure. Home Minister T.K. Ramakrishnan, who faced pressure from within the party and media, directed Alappuzha SP T.P. Gopinathan to nab the culprits at the earliest. From the beginning, C.B. Matthews, who investigated the case, was well aware that the murder was committed by someone who is amateur. Therefore, the police ruled out that professional murders or thieves were not behind the crime. Matthews, who went on to become DJP, knew that Gauri, the maid, could provide the crucial evidence in the case. However, the murder came as a shock to the entire village, and this threatened Gauri as well. But she eventually told police that the couples were rather skeptical about welcoming people who were strangers. This further helped the police to conclude that the couples might have entertained the guests who may have been close to them. And then came the crucial breakthrough, the God's hand in the case, and on the third day, it has finally come to light. The officer who had gone to interrogate Gauri came back informing C.B. Matthews that they received a crucial testimony. Gauri told police that Rahel informed her about Madrasile Mohan and his friends coming there on that day. She also testified that she had seen 4 people coming to the house in a car just moments after she left. This was a turning point for the investigating team, who started to create a family tree of the deceased couple and started to trace each individual. With the help of the forensic department, police sorted out that the footmarks found on the crime scene were made from a foreign imported shoe. Soon the police traced the relatives linked to Delhi and finally to Chennai. Rennie George, a close relative of the couple and a student, was finally nabbed from Chennai for the murder of the couple. It was revealed that Rennie and his 3 friends were drug addicts. In order to raise money to buy drugs, they hatched a plot to kill and rob couples. They headed to Karikin Villa in a stolen Ambassador car. During the murder, Rennie accidentally cut his own wrist. On the way back, he was briefly treated at a private hospital in Kottayam. Interestingly, Rennie was never close to the family. It is still unclear how he zeroed upon the couples to be his target. Rennie and his 3 foreign friends were tracked by the police and picked up from the lodge in Chennai. Rennie George, Ghulam Muhammad and Gunashekaran were arrested and the Kenyan native Kiblo Daniel later surrendered to the police. 2 years after the murder, the Kottayam Section Court finally sentenced the accused to life imprisonment. In 1983, the High Court upheld the verdict. The court returned a verdict of capital punishment for the accused, which was later reduced to life imprisonment. Their sentence ended in June 1995, and Ghulam Muhammad, Gunasekaran and Kiblo returned to their own country. Reni had a troubled time inside the prison and was involved in drug trafficking. However, he turned to Christianity and eventually became a priest by the time he was released by the prison in 1995. He fell in love with a nurse, Tina, married her while he was on parole, and founded Reni's Children, a Bangalore-based home for children of convicts who are serving jail terms. He is now a changed man and a preacher. Karikimbila is now a prayer house. Gospel for Asia bought the house a few years ago. However, the shocking murder still remains in the heart of people and will never be forgotten from the years to come. That's all for today, and with another crime case, we will be soon returning some other day. Thank you.